Hello, everybody. 990101. I'm waiting for the bus again. Ugh. I think it's kind of funny because I usually should come up with a lot of the bus stories that come from riding a bus, because I have some pretty funny ones. I used to ride this one bus that went up Federal, which is in Colorado kind of a weird place to go, but you know, it's fun. But anyway, I was riding one day and it was the middle of a rainstorm, so the bus was a little leaky. And I ended up with one lady on the bus who, let's just call her bitch. Okay, I hate to call her people that, but dear Lord and lady, this woman had the gall, since I worked service desk at a particular store, that she had to bitch me out about how the water in one of our buckets was black. Well, she did not come to find out until later, when I was riding with a former coworker of mine. I'll call this gentleman Jose. Jose and I were talking about and his English is pretty choppy at best. I mean, this poor guy came out of Mexico back about 15 years ago, and his English still hasn't improved. But you know what? I'm not going to say anything bad about him, because he was actually one of the best coworkers I ever had. And still have. He was awesome. So we were riding off, and it was around maybe 4 or 5 in the afternoon. I had just gotten off of work. I had just finished a mid-shift between an 11 to... And I got off early because, well, that was the way the schedule was written, and the service desk was, you know, pretty damn slow. So I'm heading home, and this woman, oh my gosh, would not let this rest. And honestly, this woman would bitch about the stupidest things. Like, I'm off the clock. Why do I need to listen to this? So I'm sitting there on the bus, and I mean, I'm being pretty pleasant. And Jose and I were just talking about the walkthrough that we had just gone through with the corporate office. The walkthrough was actually pretty good. Service desk associates had to go through with it too. And we had just reorganized the service desk for the 90 billionth time of that year. And I'm sitting there, and this woman was completely bitching me out over the water in a bucket. Not to realize that this is a bucket that we've had in the store since the damn store opened. And the bottom of the bucket is actually stained black. Not from any fault of anything that happened. And what happened was, according to the story Jose had told me, he had cleaned up a bottle of Indian ink. Indian ink is very thick and very black. Oh, this woman would not hear anything of it, because we had not gotten the new bucket yet. We had buckets on order for about a month and a half, and we had to be reduced to using the older buckets to clean up the men's and women's bathrooms. Well, this woman, in her whiniest voice, said, "Well, I work at Denver Health Medical as a maintenance worker. Our buckets never turn black." Good for you. At least your freaking thing can actually get the orders in. Ours are just lucky we can get orders in, period. So, anyway, this woman gets told by the bus driver to leave us alone. Next day, I go to work. There's Bitchy standing in line to return a sweater. And there she lets it in yet again. This time, I came prepared. I called the manager and I said, "I have to ride the bus with this woman. Can you please just do something about this?" Oh, they did something all right. I wanted to do my job, not be harangued by a woman on a bus. So, decisive to say, that was the end of that bus story, considering that woman was quote-unquote bitchy. The next one actually makes me actually leave my uniforms in my locker at work. Me and this one girl, and I will call this girl Suzanne. Suzanne and I were riding the bus, and lo and behold, this guy walks up and starts hitting on her. This makes Suzanne very uncomfortable because Suzanne is a lesbian. And she's very pretty, a very nice girl. Well, the guy also starts hitting on me as well. So, he figured out where we worked. He also figured out our work schedules. Don't ask how. I don't know, because none of our managers ever give out our work schedules to anyone other than family. My fiance, which my work knew on site, had come in asking for my work schedule after I got out of surgery back in 2016. They talked to him for about a good 20 minutes to get my schedule shifted out. And he's like, okay, thank you for giving me the schedule. Thank you. Things like that. My bosses are pretty lenient. Well, that summer, I ended up with this guy, and he showed up at my store, I kid you not, in a fedora, looking like something out of the 1970s, asking for either me or Suzanne. Suzanne, who had since quit because she had just got accepted to a college out of state, told management about the guy, and the guy comes in dressed again like this. And this is the guy that rides the same bus as me. He told my boss, and I kid you not, this is when my manager came up, and she was looking at him, and he says, "Oh, I'm her boyfriend. I'm here to pick her up for lunch today." I hear my manager, of course, of all the things she has to say, "Funny, she didn't order Chinese today." Because at the time, my fiance worked at a Chinese delivery job, delivering Chinese food. And would drive out of his range to bring us lunch. So, and everyone knew what my boyfriend looked like. So, it was definitely not that guy. That's for damn sure. So, the guy was, I was told to go hide in the back room until the cops arrived. Come to find out, the guy violated his parole. He was also wanted in connection to domestic violence charges, okay? This is a guy who, and so, decisive to say, I got out of it. And my fiance got a phone call from my boss not too long after. My boss explained the whole situation, and of course, this is also the general manager of this particular store. Also called asked for my fiance's number, and they called and they told him what was going on and insisted that I was escorted from my job to his car because this was not a safe situation. Finally, after about 6 months of this bullshit, I come to find out the asshole that was stalking me, and literally I think he was, got sent back to jail. Got sent back to prison, thank goodness. After this whole situation, I began leaving my uniform at the store, folded up in my locker. And my boss found out why. And it was not even their fault. I left my name tag, and my other stuff there. Anyway, I gotta go. I will tell you the rest of the stories another time.